Hey guys, this is Tauna. Today we're going to be talking about the murders at Karlov Manor precons. We're going to be talking about which one I think is worth picking up the most, which one I think is worth picking up for reprints, and then overall just talking about a little bit about them and everything. So we're going to start off with Blame Game here. This one here is based around Nelly Borka and overall goading and suspecting things. So suspecting makes it so that the creature has menace and can't be blocked. And menace and can't block. She is basically an insanely great piece in the command zone, because she's going to allow you to draw a whole bunch of cards, because whenever one or more creatures an opponent controls deals combat damage to one or more of your opponents, you and the controller of those get to draw a card. So basically anyone who goes and attacks anyone that's not you get to draw a card, they get to draw a card. It's just a whole bunch of card draw in the command zone, which is always going to be amazing. You've got a whole bunch of other cards in here that are based around encouraging your friends to beat each other up, as well as some other really fun stuff like Prisoner's Dilemma is a card that is crazy good, and I've seen a lot of really great stuff from it, where everyone has to choose if they're choosing silence or snitch, and then based on whoever chooses silence or whoever chooses snitch, you're going to take a certain amount of damage. So you're trying to trick people into make one person take a whole bunch of damage, or make your friends all work together, or there's a whole bunch of different ways you can potentially play that, as well as the fact it's got flashback, which is crazy. You've got some really nice reprints in here too. So you've got Phoenix Duo, which is a crazy good reprint, Lauren of the Third Path there, Tome of the Wet Legends, Take the Bait, that's not a reprint, that's a new one. Comeuppance. There's just some nice kind of reprints in here, as well as some really new cards. So overall, decent. It's on the lower end of these reprints in regards to lower end of these precons in the regards to the reprints that are available in it, but it's a very fun precon from what I've seen. The next one here is Deadly Disguise. So this is based around flipping your creatures. So either from manifesting and morph, or from disguising and cloak. Both of those two things work well into it. It's the commander allows you to draw a card whenever a face down creature is flipped face up. Whenever a creature you control that was turned face up this turn deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So it's a lot more subjective kind of, not more subjective, a lot more, wow, my brain is not working. There's a lot more conditions for it than the card draw that is on Nelly, but you do have the option here of turning a target face down, attacking creature face up with your commander, as well as it being just very cheap. So this is based around, obviously, having a whole bunch of face down cards and stuff, and then kind of flipping them up. There's stuff that's with Mega Morph in here, there's stuff with just normal morph, there's stuff that's got cloaked and disguise as well. Both of those two are the new mechanics that are very similar to morph, except for the fact that it's got Ward 2 as well with it. As for reprints, we've got Toski here. We've got the Seedborn Muse, which is incredibly interesting that there is a reprint of that in here. I was a little bit surprised by that one. We've got Jessica's Will as well, which is a crazy good reprint in here. Overall, there's some kind of decent kind of value stuff. An Exalted Angel, the new Tessac, Judas Hellhound, which is really nice. A dog, like a Dogs Matter commander that could potentially be, if you want to run mono red dogs. We've got Neheb, we've got Beast Whisperer, we've got Oran Frostfang. There's some overall nice reprints. The big ones that kind of stand out are obviously kind of Jessica's Will, Seedborn, and Toski there. So there's lots of really kind of nice stuff around flipping up cards. The issue with it is that there's not going to be, too much support for it in the future, I don't think, because of morph and stuff like that don't get a huge amount of use, as well as I don't know how much support Cloak and Disguise is going to be coming in the future, given the fact that it's meant to kind of tie in with the current murders at Karlov Manor. Next, we've got Deep Sea Clue. So this one's around drawing a bunch of cards and investigating. So summoning clue tokens. And then like, you know, getting extra triggers off of your additional draws. So really big reprints in here. Adrix and Nev. We've got Benny Brax. We've got Coma. Chilean Teller of Tales is a reprint as well. We've got Alanda Sky Dreamer, Academy Manufacturer. There is a lot of really great reprints in here. We've got like Knowledge is Power 2, which is a new one, allowing you to be able to buff up your creatures based on how many cards you draw. Mechanized Productions, a decent kind of reprint in there. Finale of Revelation, Farewell as well. There is overall just a really huge amount of kind of reprints in here. And, you know, I think, do all of these have card draw in the command zone? Almost all of them have kind of card draw in the command zone. Mirko doesn't. So Morska has a lot of different kind of reprints, as I said, as well as, you know, being overall just really great because it's investigate overall all the time, no maximum hand size to kind of support all of these card draws that you've got in here. Overall just a decent kind of solid kind of package based around investigating and drawing cards and everything. Next, we've got the Revenant Recon one here. So this has got Mirko in the command zone, which is going to be whenever you surveil, buff him up, and at the beginning of your end step, you may return a creature from the graveyard to your battlefield with a finality counter on it, which means, unfortunately, if it dies, it gets exiled. However, you know, there's ways to be able to bypass that. As for reprints in here, so this one's obviously got a whole bunch of stuff around surveil. We've got like Phyrexian Metamorph, which is going to allow you to copy something. We've got Sphinx of the Second Sun, Doom Whisperer, we've got Grave Titan, we've got Massacre Worm. So some kind of big things that you want to kind of resurrect in here, as well as like Sir Conrad's not a too bad, not a kind of, you know, a super expensive reprint, but it's really kind of goes well with the deck and everything. We've got the kind of big reprints here are in the sorceries and enchantments though. So we've got Rise of the Dark Realms, allowing you to resurrect everything. We've got Reanimate. We've got Toxic Deluge. We've got Black Sun's Zenith. There's a lot of kind of stuff in here that is like black staples. Like this is like black staples and stuff like that. If you've seen like the Commander Collection Black, this is a better Commander Collection Black. This had like, you know, these things here, but like we've got like Phyrexian Arena in here. We've got Animate Dead. We've got Necromancy. Necromancy getting its first reprint since like 1997, besides being on the list. But like, you know, beyond that, like we got three of the cards that are in here, as well as more of them. There is an amazing amount of reprints in here. So which one do I think that you should buy? So I think overall, I'll talk about two different things. First one, if you want to buy it and kind of keep it together or upgrade it, or, you know, well, keep it together. And then second one, if you want to kind of upgrade it and stuff. And then third one about like the staples and reprints that are in it. So the Blame Game one here, I think is going to be the best one to purchase. If you just want to buy one to kind of keep it together, or, you know, do some slight upgrades to it and stuff, I think the Blame Game one's great. You can potentially combine it with the Battle for Baldur's Gate one that was around the Furkrag, I think it is. Furkrag Canning Instigator Recon. So the Draconic Descent one. This one here, because this was around like goading and stuff too. It's got like Baloth and stuff in it. It does obviously have blue in it, so you'd have to cut all the blue stuff out of it. But the red stuff in there, you could potentially kind of combine into here if you wanted to. I think that, you know, there's some really great reprints that you could potentially put in here, like Baloth. Well, not reprints, some potentially really good cards in like Baloth. Would do crazy in here. You've got like Prisoner's Dilemma, so this is going to be not just like a strong command, like a strong deck. It's also just going to be a fun one as well, because Prisoner's Dilemma is a fun game. making your opponents all kind of attack each other while you're sitting there drawing a million cards with Nelly Borka is going to be great. You've just got some really kind of interesting stuff, and I think that this is one, the most interesting one, two, the most fun one. Potentially, like, I think that it's going to be the most fun one. That's obviously subjective, but I think it's going to be the most fun one. And then in regards to reprints, it's probably the lowest one, though. I would say it's probably the lowest one. The Fiendish Duo is pretty decent as a kind of reprint. There is a big reprint, but overall, like, the reprints are not kind of, you know, breaking the bank kind of thing. The Deadly Disguise one, I think, has some really, really great reprints. So it's probably third in regards to reprints. And I would say it's probably... I really struggle with this one because while it's a very interesting mechanic and can kind of pop off really hard, you've also got to be able to, like, get your big stuff to be able to flip it. So I think it's probably going to be like the second weakest one, unfortunately. But in regards to reprints, it looks really good and it looks really fun as well. Like, this is kind of like the one where you get to kind of slide things in and be like, what is it? Is it something really crazy? Is it something really low? And then flip it and it's got something really nice in it. Deep Blue Sea is probably second in regards to power, and I'd say second, or actually no, I'd say it's first in regards to reprints. There's just, I can't believe this. Like, look at these reprints here. Coma, Benny Brax, Adrix, Chilean, Alander. Just some really nice reprints in here that you're kind of looking at. And then Revenant Recon, again, has really, really nice reprints. But I think out of the four, it's probably the weakest in regards to... actually playing. I think it takes a while to be able to get the stuff online, as well as, you know, you've got the creatures. You've only got 29 creatures in here to resurrect, so it's kind of based around resurrecting and surveilling and stuff, but then you don't have enough stuff to resurrect and stuff. The finality counters are kind of like, once you res it, then it died, then it's gone forever. I think there's some more kind of, you know, big resurrect things that you could easily add in here. So I think that with, like, upgrades and stuff, it could be one of the strongest ones, but it also, you know, suffers from not having those things. Like, if it had, like, what is it, like the Court of Locthwain? That's the resing one, right? No, that's not it. It's Virtue of Persistence. If it had, like, Virtue of Persistence, for example, and then being able to resurrect something constantly, then you'd be able to do something really cool with it. It just doesn't have enough resurrecting stuff in it, I don't think. It's got, like, good resurrecting stuff in it, but I just don't think it has enough to kind of to be able to keep up with the other ones. So in regards to, like, purchasing to play it out of the box, I'm going to say Blame Game, then Deep Sea Clue, then Deadly Disguise, then Revenant Recon. In regards to reprints, I would go Deep Sea Clue, Deep Blue Sea, Revenant Recon, then Deadly Disguise, then Blame Game. That's just, like, you know, this is all my opinions and everything like that. So if you guys have a different opinion, let me know. I hope you guys had a wonderful day, and goodbye.